Welcome in, everybody. Here from the Sweeney Center in Kansas City, Missouri, I'm Zach Gunter, and tonight we are set to watch the St. Thomas Tommies take on the Kansas City Roos in a Summit League battle. With a little under 7.5 minutes to go before tip-off, we're looking at the Roos sitting at 10-13, coming off of 2 straight wins against South Dakota and over Denver on Thursday night. Meanwhile, the Tommies, the St. Thomas Tommies, are currently 14-9, coming off of a 2-game losing streak against North Dakota by 10 points and Omaha by only 4 points. Both teams are tied for 4th place in the Summit League, though the Tommies have a little bit of an edge with their overall record, as both sit at 4-4 in Summit League play. The last time these two teams met was on December 31st, New Year's Eve, where St. Thomas won in a convincing fashion, 77-56. The Tommies have 13 games scoring 70 points or more, but all but 3 are wins. So the key to keeping them from winning is typically to keep them under 70 points. But it's going to be a tough battle for the Roos, as they rank 261st in KenPom rankings, whereas the Tommies rank 143rd, though St. Thomas only ranks 318th in strength of schedule, as opposed to Kansas City's 262. The Roos are up to tough challenges this season, as on Thursday night, the Roos held Denver's star guard, Tommy Bruner, to a season-low 12 points. Soon we'll be meeting the starting lineups. In fact, we'll be meeting them right now. For the Roos, we've got number 1, Jason Petty. Number 2, Babakar Diallo. Both are guards. Number 20, Melvin Ibonkali, who is a forward. Number 25, Tyler Andrews as a guard, and number 5, Jamar Brown as a guard. Now, the interesting thing here is that Cameron Foss, number 30, who missed last game on Thursday due to a stomach illness, who has started every game except that one game he missed, is not in the starting lineup. We'll see what happens tonight, but it seems that with how the Roos played in their chemistry, head coach Marvin Menzies is looking to reduce Cameron Foss's minutes unless we just know, or they know something that we don't. But meeting the starting lineups for the St. Thomas Tommies will be number 1, Kendall Blue, a guard. Number 4, Brooks Allen, a forward. Number 5, Parker Bjorklund, a forward. Number 11, Drake Dobbs, a guard. And number 24, Raheem Anthony, also a guard. Now, what I noticed when I was doing my research earlier this morning for this game was that the Tommies typically have their starting lineups set. There was only one, of their 5 starters, only one has missed a game and missed a start. Looking at their individual stats for this season, Parker Bjorklund, who is starting tonight, has started every game. Kendall Blue, who is starting tonight, has started every game. Drake Dobbs, who is starting tonight, started every game. Alan Brooks, who has started every game and is starting tonight. And Raheem Anthony, who has started 22 games, is starting tonight. Raheem Anthony being the one who has not played in every game. Now here shortly we'll be cutting away for the national anthem, but we've still got a little bit of time to cover before that happens. So let's look over the broadcast future. Our next broadcasted game will be on Thursday, February 8th, versus North Dakota State at 7 p.m., but that is a women's basketball game. The next men's home game is February 15th, a little under 2 weeks from now, versus South Dakota State at 7 p.m. So the Roos take a little bit of a road trip over these next 2 weeks to Fargo, North Dakota to face off against North Dakota State, and Grand Forks, North Dakota to take on North Dakota. Those games will not be broadcasted here, but will be broadcasted over the Summit League Network. And the games are on February 8th at 7 p.m. and February 10th at 1 p.m. Now, the Roos will really have to try to keep the scoring down to a minimum because, as I said, the last time these two teams met in St. Paul, Minnesota, the score was not in the Roos' favor. In fact, the Roos had a not-so-happy New Year, losing 77 to 56. In that game, the Roos were held to a minimum in the scoring department, whereas with their peak scorer only having 10 points, and that being Babacar Diallo, number 2. Whereas, as far as St. Thomas goes, they had 4 players in double digits. Alan Brooks with 10, Drake Dobbs with 14, Kendall Blue with 15, and Raheem Anthony with 17. So the Roos will have to try their best to keep the scoring down. And if we see what we did last night, on Thursday night, with as many blocks and as many steals as we saw, that might be not as tall of a task as many would think. Now, I'm going to cut away for the national anthem. I'll see you at tip-off. All right, and we are back as the Roos are getting introduced, their starting lineup. This is Jason Petty's 7th start of the season, Babacar Diallo's 8th. Jamar Brown is used to this, starting every game that he has played. Melvin Ibankali, this is his 14th start, and Tyler Andrews, this is only his 9th. So there's a couple of fresh faces to the starting lineup, but this seems to be very consistent with the starting lineup of last game. So we'll see how the chemistry of this lineup goes. Hopefully, it goes in the Roos' favor. We're going through the coaching staff now. So it would be good for me to mention that head coach Marvin Menzies has a lot of praise for his team right now. He thought they played in a very solid, very high chemistry way in the last game on Thursday. And honestly, he was right. In his second season, he's done everything that he set out to do after a disappointing end to last season. He got more shooters, and he did everything he could to get this team ready for conference play. Setting up for the tip-off, number 5, Parker Bjorklund, goes to take the tip-off for the Tommies, while it looks like the same number 5, Jamar Brown. Nope, looks like Melvin Ibankali will actually be taking the tip-off for the Roos. So let's see how this goes and see if the Roos will get starting possession in this or next half. It looks like the Roos will get possession to start this half. Tyler Andrews almost has the ball ripped out of his hands. Tyler Andrews taking a 3 to start this game, and it's good! Top of the arc, and he just drained it. Now we're looking at the Tommies going down the court, and it looks like number 11, Drake Dobbs, will be the one with the possession to start their possession. Roos look like they're playing a pretty tight man defense, but they weren't protecting the middle. And number 11, Drake Dobbs, goes and gets 2 for the Tommies. Now what's interesting is that Tyler Andrews is playing as a very strong zone buster in the last game, but his first shot tonight was from the arc. But they left Jamar Brown almost wide open, but the coverage gets there. Jamar Brown goes in and gets 2. Now it's Kendall Blue with the ball for the Tommies. Passed it out to Brooks Allen, to Drake Dobbs, to Raheem Anthony. They're getting their whole team involved right now. But it ends up being Parker Bjorklund who takes the shot, but it just rims out of the net. Roos retain a 3-point lead in their third possession of the ball, as Diallo's looking to be a little careful right now with the ball. He went up trying to get the ball to Ibankali, but it ends up being just grabbed by Kendall Blue instead. So both teams on their, both teams trade turnovers, as Kendall Blue tried to take a 3, but it hit off the near rim. Jamar Brown tried to go in, gets the ball tipped, and they call a foul, a shooting foul, I believe, on Brooks Allen of the Tommies. As Jamar Brown goes for 2 shots. First one is good. The second one, drained. Roos now take a 5-point lead. 2.5 minutes into this game, and there's been a decent amount of scoring for the Roos as Babacar Diallo almost gets a steal. He poked the ball away from Raheem Anthony, but Raheem Anthony's now going charging into. A lot just happened. The ball just got, oh man! The ball gets tipped at the top of the arc by what appeared to be Jamar Brown. But on the pass in, it got stolen by Raheem Anthony. The Roos almost had a breakaway to the net, but just couldn't connect on the pass. And the ball ends up staying with the Tommies. Raheem Anthony gets the inbound as the ball was tipped out of bounds. And number 5, Parker Bjorklund, gets 2 for the Tommies. Jason Petty to take 3, and it bounces off the rim, but Jamar Brown almost comes down with it. The ball gets ripped out of his hands, and it's going up, and it's good for Kendall Blanton on a alley-oop by Drake Dobbs. Jason Petty again has the ball, out to Babacar Diallo. Ibonkali was getting roughed up, but no call. Jason Petty gets it into Jamar Brown inside the arc. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Babacar Diallo gets the ball ripped out of his hands. And they end up saying that there is no true possession by the Tommies. And it ends up being a shot clock violation. We're headed to the under 16 timeout. I'll be right back here on the Roo TV live broadcast. .30 seconds left in this commercial timeout. And the Roos at the under 16 timeout are holding on to, very narrowly holding on to a 7-6 lead. Now, Melvin Ibonkali was called for a foul, so the Tommies will inbound it. And it looks like it's going to be Raheem Anthony inbounding the ball to likely Drake Dobbs. There was a wet spot over on the Roos timeout area, so they're cleaning that up before they inbound the ball. And the ball is inbounded. Drake Dobbs calling his offense. The ball is now out to Brooks Allen, who's looking for Drake Dobbs. Gets to him. Drake Dobbs tries to go charging into the paint. Couldn't find it. But Raheem Anthony finds it, and the Tommies have their first lead of the game, 8-7. Now Christian Corsalt is on the court. Looks like he has replaced Babacar Giallo. Tyler Andrews has the ball, looking for a lane, busts the zone, doesn't bust the zone, gets swatted, the ball gets swatted out of the air. And now Jamar Brown looks for a three-point shot, hits off the back of the rim, and it is Tommy's ball. Number 2 for the Tommies just took a three-point shot, but missed. That is Ben now. Christian Corsalt has the ball for the Roos. Tyler Andrews takes a three-point shot and drains it. 10-8 Roos. Just off the right corner, or the right part of the top of the arc. And Cameron Foss is looking to come in at the end of this next possession. We were wondering if we would see a lot of him tonight because he's not in the starting lineup, which is unusual for him. But Raheem Anthony just got fouled by what appears to be Jason Petty on a two-point attempt. So Cameron Foss and number 35, Carter Bjerke for the Tommies will come in. Not before Raheem Anthony takes one shot. One of his two. First one bounces off the back of the rim. Now Cameron Foss and Promise Idiaru coming in. Precious is redshirting this season. Now Raheem Anthony is lining up for his second shot and drains that one. We have a one-point game here in the Sweeney Center, 10-9 to start the game. Tyler Andrews gets the inbound for the Roos. Passes it out to Promise Idiaru, who is charging into the middle, but passes the ball to Jamar Brown instead, who gets the ball swatted out, and a foul is called on, I believe, number 13, Ryan Dufault for the Tommies. Now Cameron Foss gets the ball. Christian Corsalt. But Jamar Brown gets the shot. Ooh! Promise EDR takes a tough tumble. And the ball goes out on his hands, so the Tommies will get the inbound. Drake Dobbs has the ball. Now Carter Bjerke drained a three for the Tommies. And the lead goes back in favor of St. Thomas. Christian Corsalt almost lost the ball, but now Cameron Foss decided not to take the three. Instead, Christian Corsalt will, and nothing but net. Swish by Christian Corsalt. There's a lot of lead changes in this one. Nothing like the game on Thursday where there were only 4. You gotta wonder which team is gonna find their groove first. As Drake Dobbs takes his three-point shot, and the lead is again in favor of the Tommies, 15-13. Which team will break first? That's the question of the night as Cameron Foss takes his three, can't get it, and a foul is called on Promise Idiaro. As we've reached the under 12 timeout, and I will take it with them. As we return from the under 12 timeout, the Roos are now trailing 15-13 with 11:56 left in the first half. Currently, the Tommies will get the ball to start, the Tommies will inbound this possession. And it will be Raheem Anthony doing so. It looks like Tyler Andrews is back on the court for the Roos. Both him and Cameron Foss on the court at the same time is an interesting choice by head coach Marvin Menzies, but we'll see how it goes. Raheem Anthony now has the ball. Going to Ryan Dufault, who charges into the paint and puts up 2 and gets and 1. Christian Corsalt is charged with the foul. Now Ryan Dufault shooting 1. And he makes it. This ties the largest lead of the game on either side at 5 points for the Tommies. Christian Corsalt goes charging into the paint, but backs out. Now Cameron Foss has the ball. Gives it back to Christian Corsalt, who has the decision to make. But now Tyler Andrews has the ball. Goes in, takes the shot, bounces off the rim. Tommy's ball. Number 5, Parker Bjorklund for the Tommies. Was not charged with a foul there. Instead, it goes on the Roos, but we'll have to figure out who that is that got hit with the foul. Tyler Andrews it is. So Parker Bjorklund now at the line, shooting 2. The first shot is missed. Julian Ramirez Montero comes in place of Tyler Andrews. The second shot by Bjorklund was made. It's now a 6-point lead by the Tommies. And you have to wonder, can the Roos come back from this? It was a 21-point game 34 days ago in Minnesota. But is this team different now? Is the Roos team different now? Or will it just be the same result? Alan David Mukeba Jr. is now in the game as Julian Ramirez Montero shoots the ball, but it misses, gets tipped by the Roos out of bounds. It's a couple missed possessions in a row for the Roos, so they're going to need to capitalize on as much as they can now and not let this game get away from them. Tommy's number 12 goes into the paint, shoots and scores. That's Ryan Dufault. Christian Corsalt goes charging down, shoots the ball, bounces too hard off the backboard, and does not go in. This time, it's a block in the Roos' favor. Christian Corsalt has the ball now on the other side in less than a second down the court. Cameron Foss is going to have to start taking shots, or his minutes are going to have to go down because he is not doing anything at the moment. Jamar Brown takes the shot, still no good. And it's a foul, I believe a reach-in foul. On Alan Mukeba. To be quite honest, I have genuinely no idea what's going on right now. I mean, this game was almost entirely in the Roos' favor. The Tommies. And at the moment, it's just not looking good. The Roos are looking sloppy. Their shots aren't going in. And I got to wonder what's going on. Now there's a foul on Julian Ramirez Montero, and I'm not quite sure where it happened or when it happened. But number 4, Brooks Allen, is at the line shooting 1-1. Made the first. The second, up and in. We are now looking at a 10-point game in favor of the Tommies. Now Tyler Andrews is going out to Jamar Brown. Jamar goes up. His shot gets blocked. And a three-point attempt by Brooks Allen, completely unguarded, does not go in. Babacar Diallo out to Jamar Brown, who takes a three, and it's just not falling for the Roos anymore. The Tommies are just playing so fast, and the Roos just can't seem to keep up with them. A missed shot by number 11, Drake Dobbs, doesn't go in, but there was no one to gather the rebound for the Roos. But another shot by, I believe, Brooks Allen, completely unguarded, doesn't fall either. We're just looking at a brick fest right now. Jamar Brown, 3 points, no good. Tyler Andrews guarding number 2, Ben Now. Okay, we've reached the under 8 timeout as the ball goes sailing out of bounds. I'm going to take this timeout with them. Back with you here from the Sweeney Center, where the Roos trail now by 10 points to the St. Thomas Tommies. Jason Petty and Melvin Ibonkali are now coming back into the game for the Roos. Another foul, I believe, was called on. No, I apologize. It was a defensive rebound by the Tommies. Jason Petty grabs the ball out of the hands of a Tommy, and now Babacar Diallo is going down the court. Jason Petty taking 3 points. No good, but fouled by number 1, Kendall Blue. Jason Petty now taking 2 shots. I'm sorry, 3 shots. First one is made. Second one is made. Now, I mentioned that Petty and Ibonkali are back in. That's in place of Jeff Ngandu and Julian Ramirez Montero. The third shot, up and made. Now the Roos cut the lead to 7. Raheem Anthony going down the court. He gets the ball back. Out to Drake Dobbs, who's looking for 3 but can't find it. Now Parker Bjorklund takes 3 off the rim, no good. Roos rebound the ball. Giallo out to Tyler Andrews. Andrews into the paint, trying to find 2, finds it, and drains it. Leads down to 5. Raheem Anthony out to Drake Dobbs. To Parker Bjorklund. To Kendall Blue. Kendall Blue takes 3, and it's nothing but net. Bob Cargiallo looking for space, can't find it. But can Jason Petty? No, but Jamar Brown finds 3 and drains 3. Raheem Anthony going in, but goes out to Kendall Blue. Kendall Blue looking for another 3-point shot, but ends up passing it in, but stolen by Jason Petty. Jason Petty going into the paint, loses the ball, but Ibonkali gathered it up, but turned it over. And the ball was knocked out of bounds on the Tommies' offensive side. And the Tommies are going to inbound. 13. A Johnny Lee, seeing his first minutes of the game, got the inbound. And a foul was called on Melvin Ibonkali. Now Ben Now is shooting 2. Missed the first. Christian Corsalt is back in the game. Now is shooting his second free throw. Made it. Jamar Brown out to Jason Petty, into Tyler Andrews, who's looking for a lane to the basket. Lost the ball, regathered the ball out to Christian Corsalt, who's going in for the basket. And he gets fouled. They're not calling it a shooting foul. Corsalt's going to then inbound the ball. Corsalt tried to find Tyler Andrews, but couldn't. Got swiped out of the air by a Tommy. And Drake Dobbs goes up and scores for the Tommies. It's an 8-point game, and we are looking at a media timeout that I'm going to take with them. You are listening to the Roos Radio Network. Back with you here with 4 minutes and 25 seconds left in the first half. The Roos trail by 8, 29-21. The Roos just took a timeout, so they have 3 remaining. I believe Coach Menzies was just trying to gather the troops and encourage them to, well, play better. Jason Petty receives the inbound. Tyler Andrews gets the ball back out to Christian Corsalt to Alan Mukeba. Mukeba goes in and finds 2 and 1. Always got to check to see if the foul is on the Roos or not. So a 3-point play for Alan Mukeba, a potential 3-point play for Alan Mukeba is coming up. But it remains a 2-point play. Roos trail by 6 with the Tommies going down the court. Raheem Anthony to Drake Dobbs. Drake Dobbs loses the ball out of bounds. And the Roos get possession. Tyler Andrews inbounds to Jason Petty, who just gives it right back to Tyler Andrews. Corsalt into Mukeba. To Jamar Brown. To Jason Petty out at the arc, and it gets stolen by the Tommies, who convert it for 2 points. Petty into Mukeba. Mukeba out to Petty. Petty takes 3. Good. Can the Roos get a few possessions and a few stops, few scores and a few stops to narrow the lead going into half? Well, they've got 2 minutes and 36 seconds to do so as Drake Dobbs travels. So there's one stop, well, sort of stop for the Roos. Tyler Andrews to inbound, does so to Christian Corsalt. Jamar Brown looking for something and turns the ball over. As Alan Mukeba fouls. Looks like they're going to review the play. So I'm going to take the opportunity to look at a couple leaders in this game. As far as scoring goes, 3 St. Thomas Tommies have 9 points. Kendall Blue, Drake Dobbs, and Ryan Dufault. Their second leading scorer is Raheem Anthony with only 3. Tyler Andrews has 8 points, followed by Jamar Brown and Jason Petty. Jamar has 7, Petty has 6, and it looks like they've got the call in. And it does stay with Thomas. So Ryan Dufault goes in, and it does not convert. It does not make the basket. Deep pass to Jason Petty. To Christian Corsalt, to Jamar Brown, to Alan Mukeba, who loses the ball. Now a deep pass to Raheem Anthony for the Tommies. Drake Dobbs now has the ball. And Anthony takes a 3-point shot and makes it. Jason Petty taking a 3-point shot, bounces off the back of the rim. Jamar Brown comes down with it, loses the ball, and now Drake Dobbs has it. 1 minute remains in the first half, and the Roos are down by 8. I believe they called traveling on the Tommies, and so Tyler Andrews is going to inbound the ball. Petty with the ball, trying to find something. And a foul gets called on Kendall Blue. So, with 40.9 seconds left, finally, the Tommies are in danger of putting the Roos in the bonus. They only have 6 fouls, but Corsalt inbounds the ball to Jamar Brown, out to Jason Petty, back to Christian Corsalt, who is commanding the offense right now. Out to Tyler Andrews, who tries to find a lane, passes out, but the pass is swatted down. And Drake Dobbs now is going to dribble the ball And the Tommies are going to take a timeout with only 20.1 seconds left. It's only a 30-second timeout, so I'm going to stay here. Let's take a look at some foul trouble right now. Kendall Blue with 2 fouls, as well as Ben Now for the Tommies have 2 fouls. And foul trouble for the Roos, Melvin Ibonkali and Alan Mukeba both have 2. As we come back from the timeout, the Tommies still lead by 8, but of course there is still 20 minutes left of game to be played. Tommy's inbound the ball. It looks like they're just going to dribble out the last 20 seconds and to take a shot with as little time left as they possibly can. With no shot clock, they have the luxury of doing so. The ball gets stolen by the Roos with 4, 3, 2. Corsalt puts up 3, makes the 3 with the buzzer beater. The Roos are now down by 5 to end the half. Christian Corsalt may have just brought life to this team. And with that, I'm signing out for the next few minutes. I'll see you back before half. All right, coming back from halftime. We've got a minute left before the game resumes. I need to correct myself a little bit. I was talking about the leaders in points a little bit ago before halftime, and I said that Ryan Dufault, Raheem Anthony, and Kendall Blue for St. Thomas all had 9 points. That was not true. It was a glitch in our score sheet system. Ryan Dufault leads the Tommies with 9 points, while Raheem Anthony follows it up with 6, and Kendall Blue with 5, as well as Drake Dobbs with 5. Tyler Andrews has 8 points, Jamar Brown with 7, Jason Petty 6, and Christian Corsalt with 6. Foul trouble for the Roos. We've got Melvin Ibonkali with 2 fouls and Alan David Mukeba Jr. with 2 fouls. Foul trouble for the Tommies, Kendall Blue with 2 fouls and Ben Now with 2 fouls. No player in the game has above 9 points at the moment. So it'll be interesting to see how this second half unfolds with the Roos down by 5. Side switch, and we will be looking at the Roos on the far side now with the Tommies basket on the near side. Second half is getting ready to begin as the Tommies will inbound the ball at half court. Drake Dobbs started off with the ball. Now it's out to Raheem Anthony. Raheem Anthony goes into the paint, but passes it out to Drake Dobbs, who is beyond the line. Raheem Anthony again has the ball in the paint, puts it up, does not make the basket. Jason Petty has the ball with the rebound. Babacar Diallo going down the court. Passes it out to number 5, Jamar Brown. Ibonkali put up a shot, also no good, as Brooks Allen now has the ball on the Tommies' offensive side of the court. Kendall Blue has the ball right now for the St. Thomas Tommies. He's going into the paint, tries to put up a shot, just completely missed the basket short. Can't tell if it was tipped or not. Jason Petty now has the ball. Passes it out to Tyler Andrews. Passes it out to Babacar Diallo. Diallo out to Petty. Petty out to Diallo. Diallo going into the paint. Tries to put up a shot and drains it. It's now down to a 3-point game, reminding you that this game was at 1 point, 10 points in favor of the Tommies. The refs called a foul, I believe, on Ibonkali. And it was a shooting foul, so it looks like Parker Bjorklund will go to the line to shoot 2. Currently, head coach Marvin Menzies is trying to figure something out with the refs as Bjorklund misses his first shot. Cameron Foss and Jeff Ngandu are coming in, replacing Ibonkali and Tyler Andrews. Bjorklund's second shot was good. This is now a 4-point game as Cameron Foss inbounds the ball to Babacar Diallo. Diallo goes into the paint, puts up a shot, and the shot falls. We are now down to 2 points. 2 points for number 2. Bjorklund Blocked by Jeff and Gandu. Jamar Brown puts up 3 and it's good. The Roos take the lead again. The Roos retake the lead at 36-35. This one's going to come down to the wire, folks. So just stay there and we will get you the final in about 17 game minutes. Raheem Anthony goes up, passes the ball out to Drake Dobbs. Drake Dobbs trying to drive in, can't find a lane. Drake Dobbs puts up 3, and it bounces off the rim. Jamar Brown rebound. Doing a little hot potato outside the 3-point line. Babacar Diallo takes a 3-point shot, but misses, and the Tommies have the ball again. Drake Dobbs outside the line, passes into Parker Bjorklund. Bjorklund goes in, tries to take a shot, but misses the decides to pass instead. Kendall Blue going up and in, blocked by Ngandu again. But they called goaltending on Ngandu. They said that the ball had passed its apex before he blocked it. So 2 points go to the Tommies. Cameron Foss is going to inbounds it to Babacar Diallo. I figure that goaltend will be reviewed at the next break. But until then, the Tommies have the lead again, 37-36. Diallo's Jason Petty's 3-point attempt sailed and was grabbed by the Tommies, while it appears Kendall Blue just hit a 3-point shot to make this game 40-36 in favor of the Tommies. Diallo goes up and over. Hook shot for 2. 38-40. Bjorklund out to Blue. Blue out to Dobbs. Dobbs in to Anthony. Anthony trying to take 2. Foul called on. Well, I'll have who that foul was called on when we return from break. All right. So that foul was called on Jason Petty, his second personal foul, and the team's second of the half. So we are going to see looks like Raheem Anthony at the free throw line, shooting 2. Anthony's first free throw is up and good. And the second was made. Foss to inbound out to Corsalt. No Babacar Diallo on the court right now. Instead, it is Corsalt, and Jason Petty was replaced by Tyler Andrews. As Brown was thinking about sidestepping for a 3, but ends up passing it instead, as Andrews nearly loses the ball, but does lose his footing. Foss gets the ball and drains 3. Just at the buzzer, but they are going to review this to see if it's a shot clock violation, if the ball was out of his hands before the buzzer went off. I have no instant replay on this end of the court, so I can't see what the call ends up being. I can't see how close or how far or what the clock was or anything like that. I just have to use my eyes, and from my personal opinion, he got it off, but that could also be biased. I will freely admit that. Now, if this stands, the Roos will be trailing by 1, 42-41. If not, they'll be trailing by 4, 42-38. As I said earlier in this half, this game's going to come down to the wire. There's no doubt about that one. So we'll just have to wait and see just how close this is. They did take the points off the board. They said it was a shot clock violation, that the ball had not left Cameron Foss's hands before the buzzer. So it's Tommy's ball. And it looks like there's going to be a lot of defense for this inbound, but the inbound is made successfully anyway. Raheem Anthony passes the ball out to Dom Martinelli. I believe that's, oh, I'm sorry, no, not Dom Martinelli. Raheem Anthony makes his 2-point shot. That was Carter Bjerke. Christian Corsalt passes the ball to Tyler Andrews, to Jamar Brown, and the connection between Jamar Brown and Christian Corsalt nearly broke down. Cameron Foss now has the ball, trying to sidestep, can't. Jamar Brown instead does sidestep, completely airballs the ball. Another shot clock violation, 2 in 2 possessions. We now have 2 10-point scorers on the court. That would be number 5, Jamar Brown for the Roos, and number 24, Raheem Anthony for the Tommies. We're looking at a 6-point game again for the Tommies. And a foul is called on Jamar Brown. as Blue inbounds the ball to Bjorky. Number 12, Ryan Dufault on the court. Pulling up for two, passes out to Kendall Blue. Kendall Blue can't find a lane, ends up shooting. And number 13, Johnny Lee makes the 2-point shot. Roos now trail 46-38. And a timeout is called by the Roos. Looks like they've called this a media timeout, so I will take it with them. Coming back from the under 12 timeout, well, quote unquote under 12 timeout, we have 12:34 remaining in the second half, and the Roos are trailing 46-38. The Roos will be inbounding this ball as it was their timeout they called. They have 2 left in the game. The inbound is successful to Christian Corsalt. Jamar Brown pulls up, misses his three-point shot. Ball goes out, last touch by a Roo, so Kendall Blue for the Tommies will inbound the ball. He does so. Number 12, Ryan Dufault for the Tommies has the ball. Now out to number 2, Ben Now. Ben Now is driving in. Can't seem to find a player to pass to, but ends up finding Ryan Dufault, who shoots 3. Jeff Ngandu juggles the ball, but ends up securing it, passing out to Christian Corsalt. With 5 seconds left on the shot clock, Corsalt gets fouled. The first team foul of the half gets called on, I believe, Carter Bjerke, and we will take another media timeout. I'll be back. Back with you here, where the Roos trail by 11, 49 to 38. 11:29 remains in the game, so the Roos aren't out of this one yet. But shooting 13 for 32 as opposed to 17 of 31 for the Tommies is not necessarily ideal and is not a winning strategy. Being 7 of 19 from the three-point line is also not a recipe for success. We'll see what the Roos do to close out this game. Cameron Foss takes his three-point shot, first one of the game, and a foul is called, I believe, on the Tommies going for that rebound. The foul was called on Johnny Lee, number 13 for the Tommies. We're doing a little cleanup work on the far side of the court. Now gameplay is being resumed. Cameron Foss found Jason Petty. Jason Petty finds Christian Corsalt, who is trying to control the offense. And he is setting up for three, takes the three, and it's short. And I believe that ball ended up bouncing off of a fan out of bounds. Tyler Andrews checked back into the game in place of Cameron Foss, and the Tommies are inbounding the ball. Tommies number 1, Kendall Blue, has the ball at the moment. Passed out to Ryan Dufault, and goaltending is called. Tyler Andrews to inbound the ball. The Roos find themselves in a 13-point deficit with 10:41 left in the game. As Christian Corsalt goes chugging into the paint and drains two, so it's now down to an 11-point game. But the point stands. The Roos are going to have to do a lot to come out of this game victorious. As Drake Dobbs has the ball, passing it out to Parker Bjorklund, to Raheem Anthony. Back out to Parker Bjorklund, who thought about taking three but doesn't. Now the ball is back in Raheem Anthony's hands, and he is just going to use his power to drive in. But a foul is called on Jason Petty. Anthony to inbound, and is almost tipped out by Petty, but it's kept in by Bjorklund. Bjorklund takes three, but misses long. No, misses short, but it's rebounded by the Tommies, and 2 points are added to the board. Jason Petty is thinking about taking three, but passes into Jeff Ngandu. Ngandu's pass broken up by a Tommy, but ends up out of bounds, and that was Raheem Anthony who was given chase to that ball. Anthony may have done some damage to his elbow skin on that, but he's going to stay in. Jason Petty will be inbounding the ball as Jeff Ngandu is taken off of the court in place of number 23, Alan Mukeba. Corsalt passes out to Petty. Petty out to Andrews, but Andrews loses the ball. And Andrews ends up turning the ball over. Babacar Diallo seems to be wanting to come back in, and he is coming in place of Christian Corsalt. Ball is successfully inbounded to Drake Dobbs. Dobbs put it up for Parker Bjorklund, who put it in. The Roos find themselves in a 15-point hole. They need to prevent the Tommies from scoring and score a lot in the next 9 minutes and 12 seconds to successfully win this game. But that's a tall task at this moment. Jamar Brown puts up three, but it hits off the rim and bounces into the hands of the Tommies. Raheem Anthony has the ball at the moment in the Tommies offensive zone. Out to Drake Dobbs, who's commanding his offense. Parker Bjorklund gets fouls Alan Mukeba as he seemingly hit Mukeba in the face. It's the third team foul on the Tommies this half. Diallo currently has the ball for the Roos. Passes into Tyler Andrews, who takes a shot and shoots long. The Roos just don't seem coordinated at this exact moment, but anything can happen in the next 8 minutes. Raheem Anthony currently with the ball, driving in, puts the ball up and in. 17-point differential. Diallo with the ball. Petty Brown, Diallo. Brown puts up a 3, and it drains. We'll see if that lights a spark under this Roos offense, because at this moment, they desperately need it. Number 12, Ryan Dufault, was driving in, but instead, Drake Dobbs put up 3 points for the Tommies. Diallo takes a 3. Diallo's 3 is out. And we have reached the under 8 timeout. I'll take this break with them. I'll be right back. Back with you here as the Roos trail by 17 points with 7 minutes and 2 seconds left in the game. Christian Corsalt set to inbound the ball as Parker Bjorkland was called for a foul. Corsalt's inbound was juggled by Diallo and taken by the Tommies as Drake Dobbs nearly loses the ball, passes to Kendall Blue, and it's taken by the Roos. A foul is called against the Tommies, number 11, Drake Dobbs. Corsalt was in the act of shooting and will now take 2 shots to try to cut this game down to 15 points. The first one bounces off the back rim. And the second drains. It's a 14-point game. I'm sorry, 16. Ryan Dufault at the top of the arc for the Tommies. as Raheem Anthony now has the ball at the top of the arc. Drives in, wants to drive in, but instead a three-point shot is taken by Parker Bjorkland that falls directly into the hands of Jamar Brown. Tyler Andrews out to Babacar Diallo, out to Christian Corsalt, to Tyler Andrews. Somebody's going to have to take a shot soon. Ibonkali to Diallo, into Jamar Brown, who is fouled. Number 12, Ryan Dufault gets is the one who fouled, and now the Tommies are at risk of putting the Roos into the bonus. I believe a timeout was called. Timeout was called by Kansas City. I believe it is just going to be a 30-second timeout, so I'm going to stick here for just a little bit. Yes, it is a short timeout. And honestly, I don't see a way that the Roos win this game. To be completely blunt, 16 points in 5:51, it's not looking good. But there's resiliency to this team. This team once held, at the time, second-ranked Kansas to only 8. They got the score down to only 8 points. Now, they lost by much more than that, but late in the second half, it was only an 8-point game. As Christian Corsalt's inbound is good, and 2 points are drained for the Roos. I apologize, some of my water seems to have gone down the wrong pipe. But Raheem Anthony now has the ball for the Tommies. And he's looking for a way to score. He goes up, out, over number 4, Brooks Allen, gets 3 for the Tommies. Cameron Foss is in for the Roos. But it's Christian Corsalt that takes the shot. And number 12, Ryan Dufault, gets called for another foul. This is going to be a 1-and-1. No 2 shots for Christian Corsalt as he was in the act of shooting. The first shot is up and bounces off. Now the Roos are in the bonus now. Corsalt's second shot, up and drained. We're looking at a 16-point game, 63-47. The ball, the pass by Raheem Anthony was wild and goes out of bounds. Cameron Foss inbounds the ball to Babacar Diallo. And Jamar Brown loses control of the ball. Tommies have it again. 4:35 left in the game. 16-point lead by the Tommies. Raheem Anthony has the ball in the offensive zone, takes a 3-point shot, and it does not fall. Christian Corsalt driving down the court, decides to take a long 2-point shot, and it goes long. as Ryan Dufault has the ball for the Tommies in their offensive zone. He drains 2. Diallo now gets the ball to Ibankali, who puts up 2 points in the paint. I can't quite see who has the ball. It was Dufault. Dufault at the logo. Goes driving in, goes up, over, and gets fouled by Jamar Brown. We have reached the under 4 timeout. I'll take a break and be back with you for the remainder of this game. Back with you now for the last 3 minutes of this game. It's all but set in stone at this point that the Roos will go away with a large score loss. And it's unfortunate because, as mentioned, only 34 days ago, the Roos went to Minnesota, St. Paul, and lost by 21. So twice in the same season is not ideal, as Ryan Dufault goes to the line. The first attempt for a free throw bounces off the back of the rim. And the second bounces in and out. So it remains a 16-point game. Christian Corsalt with the ball out to Tyler Andrews, to Jamar Brown, who shoots and drains it, but there was a foul on number 25, Tyler Andrews. That is the 6th team foul by the Roos, and they are in danger of putting the Tommies into the bonus. Number 5, Parker Bjorklund attempted to have a very cool shot, but it ended up bouncing off the near side of the rim as Tyler Andrews drains a 3-point shot. Raheem Anthony with the ball at the moment for the Tommies. Now out to Drake Dobbs. Dobbs out to Brooks Allen. 2, Kendall Blue for 3 points. St. Thomas has taken a timeout. That I believe is only 30 seconds. Not quite sure why a timeout was called here. The game seems to be well in hand. It is a full timeout, so I will be back shortly. Back with you now as Julian Ramirez Montero is brought into the game for the Roos. Tyler Andrews will be inbounding the ball. Petty gets the inbound passes to Corsalt. The foul. Number 4. And I believe that is Brooks Allen. And Christian Corsalt will be taking 2 shots. 1 and 1, I apologize. He makes the first. And the second bounces out and is grabbed by the Tommies. Raheem Anthony with the ball. And Anthony goes, passes the ball to Parker Bjorklund. 3-point shot by Kendall Blue is good. Jason Petty out to Ramirez Montero. Ramirez Montero attempts 3, and it's good. One minute is left in the game, and it's all but sealed. Drake Dobbs, who I am surprised is still on the court, passes and is stolen by Christian Corsalt. Corsalt attempts 3, bounces off the far end of the basket. And now Brooks Allen, another starter, still on the court with 20 seconds left in the game. Just dribbling as much time off as he can. 10 seconds. And they're just going to take a shot clock violation. With 3 seconds left in the game, the Roos will lose. 3.6 seconds remain. And Corsalt's just going to dribble it out. Your Kansas City Roos lose to St. Thomas for a second time this season by a score of 71-56. 15 points. Not quite as bad as 21, but still disappointing nonetheless. The next home game for the Kansas City men's basketball team is February 15th versus South Dakota at 7 o'clock p.m. But the next game that I will be calling will be Thursday, February 8th. Next Thursday versus North Dakota State, women's basketball at 7 p.m. I'm Zach Gunter, your play-by-play announcer, and I will see you next time.